It was good, people. This your boy Cincy, aka Mr. Good Vibes, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, how you guys doing? How's your life? How's your health? My prayer is that the Lord Almighty will continue to protect and guide you in the mighty name of Jesus. Now, with that being said, today I'm going to be talking about a few things today, and the first thing is going to be my small account challenge, which is where I've deposited $500 into a different account and just trying to see how we can grow this account. I'm not putting any timeline on this, so I'm just going to be growing this for as time goes. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I just recently finished a $1,500 challenge where I grew $1,500 to $10,000. Again, I'm using these smaller numbers to show people that you don't necessarily need a lot of money to actually start investing in this market, because I know not a lot of people can relate when you see somebody's portfolio as large as 10,000, 20,000. Even sometimes I see $1 million account on YouTube, because I know a lot of people can relate with that. So I wanted to start with a smaller amount, which I think a lot of people, at least most people, would be able to relate with. So $500 seems to sound like a very small amount that I like, which is why I've started. But again, I'm going to be talking about that account, and also I'm also going to be talking about my meme coin portfolio, which I'm also partaking in. And because everybody knows crypto is currently hot right now, everybody's talking about all this altcoin, all this meme coin. So I was like, you know what, let me pick my top 5 to 6 meme coins that I like and actually put some money to work on them and see what those what type of return those will generate for me in the next 2, 3, who knows, 4, 5, 6 months. And again, the thing is, I'm going to be applying the same algorithm and strategy that I currently use. And if I see something on the chart that I do not like with respect to the meme coins that I'm currently buying, I will definitely be swapping them up, which is something you're going to see today on my video. Now, with that being said, let's quickly dive into the small account challenge of $500 and see how the account is currently doing. So like I said, I deposited $500 in this account on the 9th of December. As you can see, this account, the balance is currently $223.39, and the current profit and loss is $20, and equity is $244.25. Now, as you can see, that is definitely down more than 50% of what was initially deposited. And like I said, that is one of the dangers of trading with a small account. In my last video, I explained to you guys how to kind of cautiously watch your margin calls whenever you're using these leverage type trading. I know a lot of people do leverage trade just to kind of like use the 1 to 100, 1 to 500 ratio that you get from these brokers. But you also have to be careful that those can also be a trap, and they could also work against you if you do not pay attention to your margin level. Again, margin levels are different from broker to broker. I believe if you go into not even broker to broker, but also from software to software, if you go to MT4, I believe the percentages go a little bit backwards from 400% down to 0%. So I'm sure they have their own cutoff of where you don't want your account to be. But with Trade Locker, you can see, I already showed you guys, you want to make sure that your margin level is staying below that 100% level, because that's when you're not going to be able to buy anything. You're only going to be able to close your positions. And if you tend to go to that 144% level, then that's when they're going to start closing you out, which is something that I personally experienced. If you look at my closed positions, you can see that I'm seeing some stop out position. I did not close out this position. This was actually closed out by the broker because I was over leveraging the account. But like I said, on my other account, I actually had to deposit another extra $150 just to keep this account afloat, as we do not want to blow the account. So we're going to be trading the account a little bit more careful this time around and watching that margin level closely. As you can see, the equity is actually 241, which is a little bit better from what we saw from the last video. So you can see that the account is slowly and gradually fixing itself. And again, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to put any timeline on this challenge. I'm just going to see if I'm actually able to recover this account and see if I'm actually going to be able to make some profit and make more money on this account eventually. Again, patience and discipline is always key in this game. Yeah, look at that, all this sea of red, we're going to get rid of that. So you can see the total profit and loss on this account is currently $403. So you can see we've lost a whole bunch of this $500 initial deposit, but we are still there. God did, we're definitely going to survive this one. So you can see on my open positions, I have quite a few things that I'm opening right now. I do, like I said, I trade a lot of instruments. I'm not definitely restricting my algorithm to only one thing. I trade a lot of things, and I just look at my watch list and I just go over them one after the other and see which of them are telling me when it's a good time to buy or when it's a good time to actually exit, or even if it's sometimes to even short, which means to sell. right? So you can see I have Microsoft here, I have the Litecoin, I have Bitcoin Cash, I have Euro AUD. You can see my Ethereum position is doing pretty well for me with $70 in profits, which is actually kind of most of the weight. You can see my AUD JPY pairs are not doing too great, kind of down there, and since Solana as well is also in the red, but you can see I actually have quite a few of Solana which I'm banking on. We're actually going to talk about Solana as well, and some things that we're going to have to watch out for, so that way we don't get too sentimental about this position. So now, like I said, let's quickly dive into the chart and start to see some of these cryptocurrencies that we're going to be talking about today. So the first one is going to be Bitcoin. I like to talk about Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the one that leads the way. So if you notice, whenever Bitcoin goes up, everybody seems to go up as well. So you can see Bitcoin is now acting as the main front, the main leader. So for those of us who are still trying to figure out what exactly coin to buy in this market, just buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is like the S&P, the ETF of cryptocurrency. If Bitcoin goes up, everybody gonna go up, so you can never go wrong. So, and if it goes down, just dollar cost average. You don't necessarily have to invest all your money at once. You can dollar cost maybe $100 a month, even if it is $50 a month. Just keep putting in there, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to show you this also in my meme coin portfolio as well. So you can see Bitcoin is going up, is doing very, very well, and this is actually a weekly chart for those of you who are just joining me. And this is typically how I trade. I'm looking at my primary indicators, which typically goes on the chart. So you can see I have my green arrow, which indicates direction to the upside, and I have my B sign, which represents buy. So sometimes you could actually see, you can get S or green or red arrow to the downside. S represents sell, and the down arrow represents that the price is going to be going down. Now, the good thing about Bitcoin is that we like the price, we like to look at the price, and we want the price to be trading above this moving average. This moving average is this yellow and green line. So you can see I was actually a buyer of Bitcoin at this level when Bitcoin first broke this moving average at this point and pulled all the way back down to 65, and I was actually a buyer at 65. But you can see Bitcoin has run all the way from 65 and gone as high as 107. I think it touched 108 or sometime, or maybe, I don't know. Okay, 107. Let's just say 107. So you can see, and I was also a buyer of Bitcoin when it fell into this my buy pocket. This is what I call a buy pocket. You see this yellow and green is what I call a buy pocket. So you can see these strings. I was actually a buyer of Bitcoin in those strings. Not in this portfolio, but in my other portfolios. And again, you can see Bitcoin went up from there. And I'm going to be watching Bitcoin again slowly and trying to see if Bitcoin is going to trace back into this buy pocket. We definitely buy it again. But then again, we don't want Bitcoin to go below this green line. That green line is the last line of defense, and that's going to be the line we're going to be watching as we go. Again, I'm trading weekly charts. Again, it goes from Monday to Friday. So each of these kind of represents Monday to Friday. Remember that, so don't forget that. And also, I look at my secondary indicators below the chart, and I use them to kind of like align with what's already on the chart. So you can see, how do I interpret this? It's very simple. The first one, again, I look at my first indicator, which is what I call a two-line cross. And whenever you see this kind of crossover where the green goes above the red, that is a buy signal. If you see a red line go above the green line, then that will be more of a sell signal or a bearish signal. So this is more of a bullish signal, and it's more of a bearish signal. So you can see the green is above the red for a long time, so that is definitely a buy. But you can see in this case we had red above the green for a long time. That was definitely a sell, which means the price would come down, which is exactly what was going on. The price was coming down in that place. But you can see right now the price of Bitcoin is going up because this is definitely bullish. So you can see this is in line with what we see on the chart. So the next one is my zero line cross. Again, this white line is my zero line, the green line is my signal line, and it's very, very simple. All you need to know is that the signal line needs to be on the positive side. You can see these are positive numbers, and whenever that signal line goes above that zero line, then that is definitely a buy or a bullish signal. But if the signal line tends to trade below this zero line or goes towards this negative side, and that's definitely going to be a bearish or a sell signal. So you can see we're currently on the positive side of the signal, and that is why Bitcoin is currently bullish or currently going to the upside. And the next one is my bars, my indicators. You can see I'm going from red to green. That is definitely a buy. But you can see also we have a zero part of this chart. You can see on the downside is the negative side. So if the bars are on the negative side, sometimes we can go from a less buy conviction to more of a super bullish conviction. In this case, where we're now going into that positive territory. So you can see we're even going as high as that resistance level. So we're not going to look too much into that, but you can see this is definitely a super buy condition for Bitcoin as well. The next one is my signal line. Whenever the signal line is between the upper and the zero line, then that is definitely buy or a bullish signal. But if the signal line is between the white line or the zero line, and the upper line and the lower line, and that's going to be more of a sell or a bearish signal, which is the negative side. So you can see the upper side is the positive side. Very, very simple signals that I use. I'm just looking for confluence between all these guys and the one on the chart. So you can see the last one is the 2-line cross. You can see whenever the green line again crosses the red, that is a buy. But whenever the red line crosses over the green, then that's more of a sell. So the current signal is the green above the red. That is definitely a buy signal for Bitcoin. So we are looking at Bitcoin, and I believe Bitcoin is probably going to touch this 110 level, and that's probably where I'm going to start taking more of my profit from Bitcoin. But I like what Bitcoin is doing, is holding on very, very well. So the next one I'm going to definitely look at, I don't want to waste you guys time out. Let's just quickly look at Ethereum, because Ethereum is kind of like the second, highest cap of cryptocurrency. So it's definitely still very, very important, so we still definitely need to consider Ethereum as a big boy in this game. So you can see Ethereum has been doing very, very well. Again, I was a buyer of Ethereum when Ethereum fell last week into that my buy region. You can see Ethereum is trading above my moving average. I like that. Again, Ethereum is once again testing this former resistance, and we want for Ethereum to actually break that resistance and go touch this one. And I believe once we break this resistance, we're definitely going to go back to the all-time high. So I'm definitely going to be taking some position if we touch this level, and definitely going to be taking some position when we get to this level. Again, I'm holding some Ethereum as I like Ethereum to the upside. If you look at Ethereum again, the secondary positions look, or sorry, secondary indicators look very, very, very bullish to me. I'm not worried about Ethereum. Ethereum is currently a buy right now. Now, let me quickly dive into Solana. Solana is one that I feel like I need to talk to people that are holding Solana. So you see, Solana is down 3% today, down 3%. I don't know what's wrong with Solana, but Solana is not doing what it's supposed to do, and this is one thing I don't like about Solana. So Solana actually ended last week with this red arrow. Again, red arrow always indicates that the price of this instrument is going to be going down, which is exactly what is going on right now. But now, the reason why I did not sell Solana again is because it actually survived and it closed above my support. Now, again, I do not want the price to trade below this weekly support line. Again, today is just Monday, and this candle will not end until Sunday, so we're going to see exactly where we are on Sunday. I still believe this can still correct between now and Sunday. We don't know what's going to go on, especially with the way Bitcoin is currently moving. But the fact that it's trading below this support definitely is a bit of concern for me. I do not want to see that, because that's definitely a bearish signal that I do not want to see. In fact, you can see that it's almost like it's turning. Another thing you also want to pay attention to is my secondary indicators. You can see my secondary indicators. For example, you can see that this is already becoming a little bit bearish. It's almost as if this red is about to cross over and become greater than the green line, which is now going to form more of a bearish signal or a sell signal, because this is what I call a buy signal when the green goes above the red. You can see this is exactly what happened here when we had the red above the green. And you remember I talked about this, and you can see that's exactly what happens. Whenever you see that signal, the price just tends to fall. In that case, we do not want to fall into that trap, as we're going to be watching this closely. And another thing too is you can see that even though this looks okay, you can see this is kind of like getting close to that borderline zero cutoff. You don't want that to go below that zero cutoff, so that's getting to like a borderline. Now this one on the other hand, you can see is beginning to become a red color as well. So we're going from a green to a red bar, so we need to be very, very careful. So we have 2, 3, so we have 1, 2, 3 signals that are already telling us to get up, or 4 signals as a matter of fact, because we're currently trading below that green support line. So again, currently Solana for me is on the red flag list. I'm going to be watching it closely, as I do not want to get sentimental about this. Now again, like I said, I have a small account challenge for not small account challenge, sorry, I have a meme coin account. As you guys can see, this is my meme coin portfolio that I was talking about, and you can see, let me see if I can let me see if I can do what am I supposed to do this. Oh, here we go. I want to see on realized return. I don't want to see the balance. There we go. Okay. So you can see Shiba Inu. So let's look at the allocation here. Okay. So you can see Shiba Inu currently. Am I sharing my screen? Okay. Okay. So you can see Shiba Inu currently is leading the way on allocation, and it's currently up 5.2%. Pepe is up 6.6%. Dogecoin is up 1.99%. Akash Network is down 3.59%. Floki is down 6%. Again, don't worry about Bitcoin, but again, keep buying Bitcoin. That's what I'm doing. And Kronos is down 5.7%. Now I replaced Bonk. You guys remember I had Bonk with Kronos, and I'll tell you why. So let's quickly look at Bonk before we go into anything, and just show you guys why I took Bonk out of my position. And again, I'm not going to get sentimental with these guys. You can see Bonk, on the other hand, started trading. It closed below my green support line last week. So, and he also had this red arrow indicating that this is going to be going to the downside. So you can see that was, for me, was a no-no. So I had to actually close Bonk, but I didn't want to close Bonk. I needed to just convert my current position into something else that I liked, and that was a little bit cheaper that I liked. And I looked around, and Kronos happened to be one that I actually fancied. You can see Kronos looks pretty okay. It's currently in my buy pocket, even though it's showing this red arrow. But again, I'm going to be watching it, and I was a buyer of Kronos in this case. You can see the secondary indicators still look very bullish to me. I'm not worried about this downturn right now. You can see this is very strong green bars right there. You can see the signal, it's between the white and the green, and that's definitely bullish. You can see the green is above the red, that is definitely bullish as well. So I'm not worried about Kronos. I like Kronos, so I swapped my Floki with I swapped my Blanc with Kronos. Now let me quickly take a look at Pepe. I like Pepe because Pepe's trends are always very, very, very favorable. They always tend to look bullish. You can see Pepe on the other hand is doing pretty well. You know, again, Pepe is still trading above that white moving average. You know, we still have our green arrow and our B sign. Again, we are watching this green support line on the weekly chart for our last line of support. You can see we've seen resistance at this previous level. We've seen resistance at this previous level, and we've dropped all the way down to this moving average. We're going to be watching Pepe. If we're falling back into this buy zone, we might be buyers of Pepe in our buy zone. But you can see that the secondary indicators look that they are all intact. And now let's look at the last one. I want to take a look at the Shiba. So Shiba, on the other hand, is actually in my buy zone. And for those of us who are still interested in buying Shiba, this might be a good place to actually add more to your Shiba if you want to. You can see the secondary indicators still looks pretty bullish to me. I don't think there's any concern for me. Well, for me, I can only speak for myself, right? For Shiba, you know, in this case. But again, always remember this with Shiba. Shiba seems to be struggling to always break this trend line. I don't know why. Again, we've always seen the price retract whenever we hit this yellow trend line. Again, we are on this trend line again, trying to see what's going to go, what's going to happen. And this, which is why I said I do not get sentimental with these meme coins. If Shiba closes below this green support or green moving average, I'm definitely going to be out of my Shiba Inu. Again, this is what the portfolio looks like. We're going to be monitoring it and see if it's possible for me to 2x this money. Again, let me just quickly close out again with a small account challenge. For those of us, again, like I said, I'm doing this just to show that, you know, show what is possible in the market, that you don't necessarily need that big amount to actually start investing in the market. Again, I'm going to try and see if I can revive this account, as I have almost done some damage onto it. But again, I'm not worried about it, as I believe that it's definitely possible. Again, I just have to be a little bit patient this time around and definitely manage my discipline a little bit better. Okay, all right. Now again, this is your boy Cincy, aka Mr. Good Vibes. Again, don't forget, the crypto market is currently hot. The actual market right now is actually getting a little bit toppish, I believe. But again, there's still a lot of sentiments that the market is still going to be going to the upside, especially when you listen to all these analysts talking about the S&P and the Nasdaq, some of the levels that they are currently calling even before the Christmas break and going into the New Year's, and actually after the inauguration of the new president. So again, you guys be excited about the market, but also definitely watch out and make sure you're not over leveraging, because when you trade a regular account or your regular stock account, it's different, but when you leverage trade, margin calls are definitely important. Again, it's your boy Cincy, aka Mr. Good Vibes, and let's make some small money together, even if it's just a little. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you believe this is the best page on YouTube when it comes to Forex, crypto, stocks, options, whatever. In fact, anything that comes to your mind when it comes to financials. All right, you know, you get it. All right, let's go.